But now let's talk nursing, shall we? Because thousands now of nurses from so-called red list countries have been registered to work here in the UK over this last year. Now, we all know, don't we, that ultimately we're struggling in lots of regards to staff our NHS. But this whole notion that actually you're going to proactively pulling resource from poorer countries that really do need their healthcare staff, is that ethical on our part?
I think I've always thought it's unethical, and this proud boast that the NHS is staffed by lots of immigrants. The dark underside of that is many of those countries have had their brightest and best whipped away. They've made their health system have to compete with our health system, which has much more money in it, and I've always thought that was a bit of a problem. And the other thing as well, here's the real thing. We had over 300,000 vacancies in the NHS, and we matched that with people that we brought into the country, but yet we still have a huge amount of vacancies. So where have all these people gone that claimed they were coming to work in the NHS? I think that's what we should be going on. And the other part...
Very good point there. Yeah. Very good point.
And the other part, we should stop telling people that working in the NHS is horrible. That's why people ain't joining.
Paul?
These people do a fantastic job, and we all recognise that. You know, they look after us, and we have to respect that. But it is a form, as I tend to agree with Shaun, it's a form almost of colonial plundering.
Yeah.
And, you know, we denude these developing countries often, people who need these nurses and doctors. You know, they're vital to helping them develop their health services. And we swipe them away, and then we trumpet the fact that we've swiped them away. Exactly. And isn't our NHS great because we've taken all of these people from around the world without seeing what the other side of that means. A few years ago, there was a very serious health crisis in the Romanian health service. This was in the years after they got accession to the European Union. And free movement kicked in Romania, and lots of doctors left to come and work in the West. And it caused a really serious health service crisis in Romania. And I still think they're suffering the overhang of that now. And that's the other side of free movement. You know, if it's all one way, then what you're doing is you're creating real problems inside the parent country, not just in terms of the health service, but actually more
everything.
Generally in terms of depopulation. I mean, if you look at Latvia, for example, Latvia a few years ago, largely as a result of free movement and young men predominantly moving away, went through a depopulation crisis, and that can have all sorts of implications for the country, for its prosperity, for its economy, for its well-being, for its infrastructure.
You're taking away the best and the brightest, and you can't develop things. The other piece that really needs to be looked at is, why can't we develop people here to take those job roles? Yes. We've proudly said we fill the NHS and the country doesn't work with immigrants. I'm the child of immigrants. Immigration will always be important. I get that. But also, the people who live here are important. So let's get them into the NHS. Let's get them qualified. Let's get them the income from working in the NHS.
A few of my viewers are getting in touch saying about the degree side of things. Why is there the obsession with everyone, all these nursing staff, etc., having to have a degree these days? Did it used to be like that? I don't think it did.
It didn't. I blame that on Tony Blair. This whole 50% of people going to university, things not being of value unless they're a degree, that's the problem.
Well, yeah, there you go.